comes a new challenger!
What's up, Lancers? Welcome to a brand new Freelancer Spotlight. Gonna be taking a look at the new Freelancer Khita, the brand new support archer that everybody's been talking about when Tryon finally released her and gave her a preview on the Tryon stream. Well, here we are, and I'm going to show you in the Spotlight as to what she could do, as well as her skins. And sadly, because it's a PTS server, I cannot show you her taunts just yet. But let's get to her abilities. The first ability that we're going to talk about is Warped Arrow. Loose a curving arrow that deals 28 damage. Click once to start aiming, then a second time to finish. We'll get to that as we get into the practice match and I show you her abilities firsthand. It's kind of pretty odd, really, when I first messed with her. Her second ability, Resonance Burst, create an energy fluctuation that grants 30 shields to allies and weakens enemies until the end of the turn. So that's going to be another big deal because she grants shields to multiple allies and she can weaken the enemy. Her third ability, Take Aim, mark an enemy until the end of next turn. The first time an ally deals direct damage to the marked enemy, the ally is healed for 25. That's pretty big too. And there's this mod for allowing to get a 5 HP for hitting a second time. Her dash is Vaulting Shot. Dash to a location, then fire an arrow in the opposite direction, which deals 20 direct damage and slows until the end of the turn. Kind of a big deal. And obviously her ultimate, Rain of Arrows. Rain arrows down in a line, dealing 28 direct damage to enemies and rooting them. Choose 2 points within range to create the line effect. Does not require line of sight and ignores cover. Here is how this is going to work. First off, her abilities seem pretty decent, if not by some veteran standards, pretty overpowered. Here's the deal, guys. First off, her standard ability, which is Warped Arrow, deals 28 direct damage. And this is what it looks like. It's a line, but it has 2 dotted arrows going to opposite sides, left and right. So you're able to do 28 damage round corners. Now, to be fair, this is pretty OP because even by support standards, 28 damage is pretty big. Finn can do 27 as far as his water spray is narrow, because the wider it is, the less damage, the more narrow it is. Or, yes, the more narrow it is, the more damage it does. However, this is 28 damage base. And it shoots around corners, like you'll see here in a couple seconds. This is pretty good. I honestly did not think that this ability was going to be that nice until it started doing this. And when you click on it the first time, you have to click on it a second time to finish it to allow to actually use the ability. So instead of just clicking on the ability once, like you would with Nyx's standard shot, or with Zuki, or anybody else, you have to do it twice to initiate on the target that you're shooting at. And like I said, her energy gain on hit is 12, so that's pretty good too for a support. And if they do have an energy thing, which I would not be surprised for a mod, she could get her ultimate a lot faster. Her next ability, Resonance Burst, is pretty good also because it gives you a 30 shield to you and your allies. And it weakens your enemies. So let's say, for example, you have a friend that's going to die. And they have just the amount, if not maybe more, by the help of a teammate. And you weaken them. They have a 30 shield, and the enemy team is weakened, so it doesn't do full, like Lockwood would do 34, 32, 27. And that is probably the biggest thing you can do in saving a life. You don't necessarily have to heal. But having a shield and weakening your opponent to stop you from killing your teammates is huge. Not to mention the cooldown on this is 3 turns. That's big. Because she could, if she wanted to, have brain juice, pop it, and by next turn she'll have it already again. And as you just seen there as well from the dash, Vaulting Shot was pretty big as well, because you could dash pretty far and shoot from behind you, slowing people down as well if they're trying to give chase. And it's, I'm not going to lie, guys, this is seriously some messed up stuff. Because when I seen the stream, she looked like she can do quite a lot of damage, and playing her in a bot match, she seemed very fun. Not only feeling, I mean, she obviously has the abilities as a support, sure. However, she feels more of a firepower to me than anything else. For the range, for the trick shot she can do with her arrow, for the, the ready phases like her weakening and shielding, her vault shot that could slow, and take aim that could heal when you shoot a enemy that has it. The problem with take aim is that, I guess I really can't say it's much of a problem, but 25 is pretty good. But when you're talking about being a full-blown support and healing, a lot of them do like 30 or even sometimes maybe even a little bit more than that. But if they were to dash away and you're very low, that's the only thing that would kind of suck, is that if you're doing it and you miss them when they have it active. And that ability you just seen was Rain of Arrows, or ultimate. And it's a pretty fun looking ultimate to see as well. Just arrows raining down that look like they're pure light and just hitting everything. And the range is pretty long on it as well. So this is pretty much Khita. I mean, with the long range that she has, the curving of her arrow, using an ability that can heal you or your allies with the take aim ability, and being able to dash really far away as well as firing back. I mean, she's, to my eyes, a firepower through and through, with just maybe the extra abilities of a support. So I could see a lot of people playing her. And not to mention her Resonance Burst, which is the 3-turn cooldown. That's huge, especially when you're talking about a 30 shield and then weakening your enemies with it. And then if you do get the mod Focus Burst, as it's called, shield is strengthened by 10 if only a single ally is hit. If, let's say for example, if Phaedra is being targeted, which normally happens once in a while, you could use Resonance Burst on her, gain a 40 shield that's like a Dr. Finn bubble, weakening the enemies around her, and she'll be fine. I mean, that's big. Especially if they're like trying to focus somebody like a Nyx, or somebody that can't move like an Orion. I'm not kidding. I mean, you're going to see probably double supports in probably live when she comes out. And her Rain of Arrows to 28 direct damage, but it ignores cover, roots them, and it even doesn't need line of sight. That's completely huge, especially for a support character. But anyway, guys, I do hope you liked the video, and I gotta say, when Khita comes live, it's gonna be hella fun to play, especially in probably ranked and PvP mode like it is right now. But another thing I want to talk to you about is that down in the description, because I got into the Try-On Creator Program, I'm going to be giving away you guys some Citadel Lockwood skins and some Mad Love loot matrices, so I'll put it down in the description. As far as Catalyst concerned for Khita, my picks would be Turtle Tech, Shift, and Brain Juice. You can go a second win, but I think Brain Juice, with the amount of cooldown she has, I think would be huge, because she'd be able to get her abilities out way quicker, probably next turn or the turn after that. And that's it, guys. Hope you like the Freelancer Spotlight, and I'll see y'all later.